Thank you for giving me time to speak. I am Aubrey Turnbull of the Oakhill subdivision, and I have some comments on our park and ways to fix it. We don't have any handicap accessibility for the handicapped kids that may live in our neighborhood. We don't have any ramps for kids with wheelchairs to go over, and by federal, state, and government laws, you at least have to have at least a couple things for the handicapped kids to do at any type of park, whether it be neighborhood or any type of park that may be around here. Also, if you guys have any questions, you may ask them. Unless it's about financial questions, you may ask them at the end. We did have a baseball field, but it is no longer there. It was taken out about 20 years ago. And although I'm not saying we should put it back, but there's just a bunch of space that's just not being used. And we could put a soccer field or put that baseball field back or something about it. The basketball court has not been resurfaced. They have not put new nets. The goals were not repaired or repainted at all, and that needs to be done because the basketball goals are falling apart, chipping, and the resurfacing needs to be done because a lot of people are starting to trip and getting hurt because it's being very bumpy. Our shelter house needs a garbage can, and basically what's going on is everyone's if people like drinking down there and they smash their bottles and leave glass everywhere, and they have nowhere to throw it away, so that's a problem. But people are worrying, oh, they're gonna steal the garbage cans. Bolt them down and put a bag in there so that they can take it, and or you could have it locked down and give the keys for the lock to the driver, and he can hand it to the person who's getting the garbage out. We are having very many graffiti issues with this park. A lot of people like to draw with Sharpies or paints and like to write bad things and stuff like that. And I don't want to see that, and neither do my friends, and neither do their little cousins or sisters or siblings, whatever. I know a lot of parents don't want to see that either, so there are broken bottles and a lot of miscellaneous glass just laying around, and we have seen needles around the benches, which is a big problem because a lot of kids like to go to that park, so yeah, that's really bad. Overall safety. People like to stand and watch children that are not parents and they are not family or friends of the parents. They are having pedophilic behavior around there, and it's making me feel uncomfortable when I go down there, just worrying what if there's a kid down there, they're gonna get stolen, stuff like that. I don't want to have to worry about that, and neither do parents have to worry about their kids and what's going on down at that park. Needles lie across the ground, all across the playground. We have seen needles lying around, and there's a bunch of broken glass, as I said earlier. But the thing is, there's a bunch of stuff that's very unsafe for children around that park, and we need something to do about that, like have a garbage can and do something about it. And beautification and financial issues. There was a lot of spent money on other neighborhoods and nowhere for kids to safely play in our neighborhood, like Bicentennial Park, and it was spent on Riverfront Project, Hatcher Hill, and Heritage Trail. Not saying that you shouldn't do that, but there needs to be some places for kids to play and be safe. It's not spent on the future of this town's children. Also, the Delphi murder on a trail back up north, and parents aren't going to let their kids go by themselves, you know. You know, if you want parents just to let their kids go there, put call buttons and put, you know, those buttons on some college campuses where you press it and it can some people to get you, yeah. But there's nothing for us kids to do in this town. Mr. Mayor, didn't you ask my brother how to stop teen drugs around here?
Did what? I'm sorry.
Didn't you ask my brother Justin about how to stop teen drugs around here?
I'm not sure. I don't remember your brother, but what was the answer?
He said that you should put in stuff for the teenagers, like put in a roller rink, put in stuff that us kids actually want to do around here. And
we would hope parents and family would help out with some of that too, but I get what you're talking about. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
But we need the money to actually help. We need some people to come help us and come give us playground equipment, because there's nothing for us big kids to do down there except for swing, because that little jungle gym's for the younger kids. And as I said, though, we do need a garbage can, because I've seen a lot of smashed glass and garbage, and it's just not good down at that park. And like, there's, you know that sign they have at the front of it? There's handprints on there. The swing is covered in handprints. And a lot of the time I go down there, the swings are broke off, the chains are broke, like someone has like snipped them somehow or taken them down. I don't know what's going on down at that park, because I can't be down there 24/7 checking out what's going on. But
it sounds like you know quite a bit, Aubrey.
But as I said, a lot of the sports stuff was taken out. And like the baseball field, it was there 20 years ago when my mom was younger. She lived in that neighborhood, and basically what they did was taking it out, and now there's just a bunch of field. And that tiny shelter house isn't helping. We just have one bench, and a lot of the time it's for people. A lot of people like to climb on it and then write graffiti at the tops. And it's getting extremely annoying for me, because then I'm having to go down there, see what's going on, and seeing if people are actually doing the right thing 24/7. And you know, I have quite a lot to do, like schoolwork and yeah. Overall safety, though, is a big part in our neighborhood, because we have a lot of kids that live around there, and they don't have anything to do because their parents won't let them go to the park.
Can I ask you a question? How many kids do you say use that park, or do you use it at all right now because it's in such bad shape?
I use it alone, but I'm very careful when I'm down there. If I see anyone with anything if I see anyone looking kind of suspicious, if there's someone younger with me, I will tell them to run if they come at us.
You tell your parents about this, and
yeah, I told them.
Anybody else, and any calls about things? And well, I mean, we could probably disagree on that, but I would like, Dave, are you here? Would you want to speak into some of this? Because some of you may not know that we actually met with Aubrey a month or two ago in our office, and
4 months.
And pardon me?
4 months.
4 months ago. Excuse me. But actually, some things have been done out there, and Dave can talk a little bit about that. But
first of all, most importantly, I think you can hear the passion from this young lady, obviously. And when we had that meeting, that passion is just as important now as it was then. There are a few things that have taken place up there, thankfully, to some of the parents and the neighborhood, and a special shout out, if you will, to I believe the director of Habitat for Humanity, Mark Van Meter.
Yeah.
He took it upon himself as a neighbor in that neighborhood and as a resident, and with some means, to organize the families in that area that were willing to help. So there have been a few things of sprucing up, pulling weeds, some painting, trying to eliminate some of the graffiti. As a matter of fact, we had a meeting this morning with Tony Sorrells, Street Department Superintendent, myself, Mr. Van Meter, and Andrew. The Hanover College football team reached out to that organization, Habitat for Humanity. Mark thought of us in the city, and he also thought of continuing the work at that neighborhood park. So this Friday, a collective group of 120 football players from Hanover College. Not all 120 will descend on that park, but we have a few other areas, but there will be some folks up there continuing to help some of those issues. Obviously, the things that Steve pointed out is very real and needs to be fixed. We have allocated our monies in other areas, as you well know. You also know, some of the stipulations of our budget within the parks. But that's not necessarily an excuse, so don't please misinterpret that from anyone. So there are some things that Tony, myself, Andrew, possibly some other parks, stellar opportunities that we're going to address. But there are some easy fixes there, and there are some more lengthy fixes. But again, it is on the hilltop. It is something that needs to be addressed. And I hope that we can continue to move and chip away at some of these issues. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, that's great. Many people don't realize we do have 20-plus parks, and some of them you wouldn't even know where they are. I understand that. But what we've tried to do is work on a community government partnership type thing, just like with Hargan Matthews down here. I think most of the parks we've had people that have donated time and money over the years in certain areas of our parks. But what you said, Aubrey, is very well taken, and we actually are working toward that. But we're going to try to make it better for you, okay?
But there's a problem down at that park, which is a lot of drug users go down there and try to get high, and they're using their drugs down there at a children's park. A children's park! Why? Why down at the children's park will children play and leave needles and leave the evidence? But the thing is, people are using drugs down there, and it's not good because there's quite a few kids who like to go to that park, and I don't see why that would be a good thing. But the thing is, I'm just trying to work towards a common goal and making somewhere good for us kids to play.
Thank you.